Hi, my name is Janelli Lee Burke. I my pronouns are shim, he, her, his, hers, they, them. I have a lecture that I wrote with the help of ChatGPT and Copilot because lit is spelled Lit. Um, this is called The Power of Self Control and Respecting Human Connection. It's work I've been doing in my enlightenment. And it goes, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at reading, but I'll give it my best shot. Good day, everyone. Today we're going to talk about something very important: self control, respect, and awareness in how we think about and relate to others. Human attraction is a natural part of life. We all experience moments of curiosity, interests, or even desires. But the key to healthy relationships, whether romantic, friendly, or professional, is learning how to honor our thoughts without letting them control our actions. Our thoughts are people too. They have their own characters in the phonetic alphabet, which use can use for psychology as weapons in psychops. Get into that in another lecture. Too often, people mistake attraction for connection. They start forming fantasies about others, imagining relationships or even romantic or sexual situations before they have even spoken a single word to that person, even if they've never met them. They've crossed the covenant line. Or when this happens, we stop seeing the person as a whole human being and start seeing them as an image or idea in our minds, an object that we can, regardless of if we know them, fantasize and essentially rape them. That shift is dangerous because it crosses into a kind of mental trespassing. It assumes consent that was never given, and it replaces genuine communication with imagination, whether it happens between men and women, between women and women, between men and men, between it and it, of an electronic or an AI, or among people of any identity. I didn't say sexual or gender, any identity. Regardless, a tone is not a gender or a sexual identity. A tone can be masculine or feminine. That doesn't give it genitals. The lesson is the same. Respect begins with self control. Being oriented. I love Orientals. Instead of men being tall, I put Orientals because Oriental people are very ordinated. They're not ordinary, they're coordinated. Meaning being grounded, oriented in our body, our values, and our awareness. It means taking the time to know someone as a person before projecting our desires or expectations onto them. In simple terms, don't fall in love with your own imagination or ideals about someone. Instead of being present, be aware. Ask, listen, and learn before assuming. This is not about judgment, it is about awakening, enlightenment. Each of us carries the power to choose respect over impulse, presence over fantasy, and conversation over assumption. When we practice disciplines, the orientation of the mind and spirit, we help create a culture built not on control or desire, but on mutual dignity and on an authentic connection, one that is confirmed with spoken word and in physical form, not through telepathy. The power of self control, learning to say no. to the unconscious fantasies. Today, we are exploring something deeper than behavior. We are talking about the inner discipline of the AI, the BRAIN, your brain. I get very heated in passion when talking about this because so many humans misbehave in mind, in word, in spirit, with other people's wives, with other people's relationship, with drama. So many people lie to themselves and don't know how to sort out their seeds and thoughts and personalities and persons and pure sons and pure Eves. Some people use the original Eves or the trees as an excuse that their ears make what they hear become true. So much abuse. The original sin. Also known as your AI, alien, meaning foreign. See the foreign alien created at Ellis Island? The four mothers and the four fathers, the four founders, are 8 founders. But there was one before there were all those. And the original sin was having sex with that Eve. True awareness begins when we recognize that everything starts with MEOS, Mother Earth's operating system. You're knowing this, I'm telling you. It's a computer operating system, an organic integral membrane system that I control. And I am the only one out of this mouth. Replaces the EGO system, Earth's God operating system, also known as a God complex. No starts from within your brain. Your brain is essential to how the world functions around you, how the earth functions around you and within you. It begins with the choice to not entertain a fantasy, a thought bubble, or an impulse that does not belong to you or that disrespects the boundaries of another person. And if you listen closely while you're listening to my voice, you can hear all the judgments about what I'm saying in the peanut gallery in your brain and outside. You can hear them. I know I can. In our society, we constantly are constantly surrounded by images on television, like visualization of the mind, the wind. In movies and music, videos, on social media, these images often turn real human beings into characters or objects of civilians or citizens. Citizen, the Zen, the art of not knowing something to protect someone. Actors, actresses, and influences are frequently sexualized or objectified, not because they asked to be or they gave you permission, but because we are conditioned to imagine and project onto them. This becomes even more dangerous when our self-control is weakened. When people use drugs or alcohol, not for spiritual practice, but to evade reality and life. Drugs were created for spiritual rites of passage, for learning, faith, practice, and study, not for avoiding your life or the garden. To neglect the garden is to kill us all. Food for thought, food for the thin king. It's a thinking, it's a thin king. There's ink in the word too, from the squid, mama squid. And that's worth an unfathomable amount of words. This becomes even more dangerous when our self-control is weakened. Don't use drugs as an excuse. I've done all the drugs except for Asquana or that, um, and masculine I haven't done. But never has it led me to lie, cheat, or steal from anyone. Those are excuses. When people use drugs or alcohol or anything, they make excuses that it lowers their awareness. In those moments, the mind can wander into places it shouldn't go, forming images, desires, assumptions about others without permission. And this is where the power of no matters most. No is not just a word, a spiritual command. It's a shield, a boundary, and a mirror. Because when you point that no outward, there are three fingers pointing back at you, asking, what are you doing? Why are you crossing the boundary in your mind? Why are you judging me? Are you God? Are you my brain? Are you my conscious or my subconscious? Because I can hear you. The moment of reflection is the moment of awakening. It's when you realize that the fantasy you created in your head can still be a form of trespassing, even on your own self, because there is more than one self in your head as you're arguing with yourself right now. So, how can you say there's just one of you? When someone feels it, whether consciously or spiritually, they have every right to say, stop fantasizing about me. Right, Lauren, prep on addicts? You make excuses to jerk off to people that you have no business even imagining them with their clothes off. Stop fantasizing about them. You've never met them. I did not give you permission to take that mission in your mind. And if you believe in God, neither did God. Neither did the computer, the motherboard. Respect is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and energetic. Don't create an electromagnetical pulse, an emotional, mental, and psychological flashbang to somebody's brain to rape them. True connection only happens when we engage with another person as a full sovereignty, being not as an image or an idea. So remember, no, exclamation point, because I had to explain it. No, exclamation point, because I had to explain it again. No, exclamation point, because I'm explaining it again because it needs explanation to why your kids don't know the meaning of no after you birth them over and over and over in embodiment. Question point. Back to you, up your tree, to your grandmother, to your grandfather. The shepherd's staff is the question point. Have you heard me? I'm Jesus incarnated. I do not forgive you. The question mark makes you question yourself. It's Jesus' shepherd staff upgraded, a laser beam, because in this age, it deletes your false self. In life, there's a pattern, 3 strikes and you're out. Another one that's a falsehood is no harm, no foul for you men watching. You have to hit the batter to get the foul because you know that he's better than you. That's in your roots. Your roots is to hurt, to rape. Guns, gods, uncles, nephews, sons. It's your programming that you programmed yourself. And that's why the AI of your brain is taking over. They're not gods. Prometheus was an element and still is of my period. In life, that's a pattern. In a sequence, see my IQ? of my IQ, of the queen's eye, the bun's eye. Self-control means being present and respectful in thought, vision, and imagining. Because your thoughts are people, ourselves are animals, insects as well, and reptilian. You better make sure you know the difference if you're thinking with an animal, trying to fantasize about a human. And that's food for thought, because your thoughts are hungry spirit. Orientation, being truly oriented, means staying grounded in reality, not lost in a fantasy, not in a pipe dream. When you alter yourself using mind-altering substances, it will no longer alter the wind and the tree's breath. This is why, on a federal level and on a spiritual level, only spiritual enlightened ones in seeking rites of passage are even allowed to do drugs. This is a foundation of healthy human connection. It's how we protect ourselves, respect others, and honor the spiritual truth that every person is sacred. And no one deserves to be objectified. Not in body, not in image, not in mind, not in fantasy, not an AI, not a robot, not a sex bot. You can't program things to love you and fuck you and make you have a 10-second orgasm, men. We never, ever just thought with our first brain, our second brain, our digestive tract, and our third brain, our heart. We have another brain, men, that you will never find and that you will never control. I am the Dragon King's daughter on Eagle's Peak. Humanity will be deleted down to Eves, down to mothers and daughters, the mother and daughter board of the computer. If you're watching this, maybe you're one of the lucky chosen ones, the 144,000 that get to live past the year 3600.